All right, welcome again to another installment of Radio Free Decipher.
Yeah.
As always, I'm Kyle Hoyer, and
I'm Evan Lorenz, and joining us today, Dan Bojanowski.
Danny B.
Dan, have you ever been
Danny
on Radio
B.
Free Decipher before?
Never. Wait a minute.
What an honor.
Yeah, Dan, being the head of DGMA and doing all that fun stuff and all the organized tournament play, you're on quite often.
I'm the default when you don't have anything better to talk about.
Oh, you don't know how true that is.
Oh. So what do we have to talk about?
Well, I don't know, Dan. Why don't you came up to me and said, hey, I got some stuff I want to talk on Radio Free today, and so what do you got for us?
Well, one of the things that I've been working on, seems like forever, but that's just coming to fruition right now. Coming to fruition. How about that?
Nice.
Is that good?
Isn't that a card somewhere?
It ought to be.
Is a new organized play code of conduct for all of Decipher's games.
Okay, now we had one up on the website for a while. Is it still up there?
Yes, it's going to be taken down and renamed, kind of. What we have here is basically a penalty guidelines and code of conduct that's better defined. Let me just give you the outline of some of the major topics that are covered within this document. We've got procedural errors. We've got slow play, which includes slow play and stalling. We've got card drawing too many cards, improper drawing, blah, blah, blah. Deck violations, illegal deck list, marked cards, unsportsmanlike conduct, cheating.
So it's going to be broken down a little more?
It's broken down, and it's going to be clearly defined as to what the penalty is.
What should a tournament director do in each circumstance?
Yeah, and it's really, it may sound like we're coming down hard on this stuff, but this is, it's a basis for penalties. It's only if need be. You shouldn't always try to look for penalties. It's only we're out to protect gameplay.
Absolutely. We have a big tournament structure in place where there's a lot at stake. Money, all kinds of things. Trip to Germany,
it's so
all kinds of things. So, in order to protect the integrity of the tournament system, these rules need to be in place.
Right. And
so that it's fair for everyone.
Yes, we want to have a level playing field for everyone and protect the gaming environment. We want it to be fun for everybody, and that's what this is designed to do. So you can expect that to go up on the website, hopefully within the next week here.
On DGMA.com?
It'll probably start off on Decipher.com and move to DGMA.com, or maybe go up simultaneously on both.
All right.
In the tournament resources area.
Now, do you see this being expanded upon for other things, or is this strictly for the tournament play? What I'm saying is, what if a tournament director violates protocol by creating people for their tournament that weren't there? Or doing that sort of thing. Is that covered in the code of conduct? Or would that
currently,
be
that's
different?
not. This is really for tournament directors. This is a guide for tournament directors concerning players in tournaments.
The blacklist is a separate
issue. The watch list is a separate issue, and that's something that we do need to look at. I do acknowledge that we do have some tournament directors who have questionable ethics, who either run fake tournaments or put fake players in, and that messes with the worldwide ratings, and it is a serious violation. It is a serious violation.
We look into
and that's something
quite a lot.
That if you as a tournament director or a player in your area, if you see this happening, you need to report it, because that's the only way we really know about these. We pretty much trust that tournaments are happening, that they're all going smoothly unless we hear otherwise. So if you see something, make sure you report it to tournaments@decipher.com.
Okay.
But that's something that we're keeping an eye on, definitely.
Great. Well, that is a huge responsibility, Dan, and I do not envy that.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. Well, thanks for stopping by.
No problem.
I think everybody's going to be excited to see this go up and see some good structure in place for the integrity of the system. So
good stuff. And it's also, just as a side note, it's not game specific. It is designed for use with the Star Trek game and Lord of the Rings, as well as any other games we would do in the future. There would obviously need to be some wording changes to accommodate, but right now it's pretty generic in that it can be used for all of them and expanded upon.
Good stuff. You've been working on this for a long time too, right, Dan?
Well, it's been floating around in my brain a long time, but it's gone through revision after revision. So,
well, good. All right.
Well, thanks. Congratulations on getting it out.
Thank you.
So we turn now to, actually we have lots of other issues. It's kind of funny that Bojo would say we bring him on when we have nothing else to talk about, because this is going to end up probably running long. But
sure. Well, to keep with the Lord of the Rings theme here, before we get to some Star Trek stuff, DGMA is running a whole bunch of pre-release tournaments for Realms of the Elf Lords, and it's going to be really exciting. For those of you that have not seen it yet, you can go to DGMA.com and see where all of the, or most of, if not all, the pre-release locations are worldwide. And remember, we just got these in yesterday, and we were taking a look at them, and I got myself one, the Legolas pre-release card. So those are going to be really cool, sought-after items that you can only get by participating in one of these Realms of the Elf Lords.
These are alternate image versions of the Legolas that appears in the Realms of the Elf Lords starter deck.
I believe it's card number 0P15 for those people that are keeping track.
Okay.
So, once again, DGMA.com will have all that information.
Okay.
As well as the rings.
Speaking of fun prizes,
the rings that people have been waiting for from the Chase the Ring tournaments a while ago. We had quite some difficulty getting those rings in.
You should have seen his face just there, folks. It was fun. Heavy sigh.
Yeah, we had quite some difficulty getting those rings.
But they're here now
from the manufacturer. But actually, they're not here anymore because they've already all been shipped out.
Well, that's good. Then.
We got them in, and Kendrick and I turned them around. And
now these are the authentic
hours.
replicas of the One Ring, and these were going to the winners of those. There were a couple hundred tournaments, weren't there?
There was around 100.
Around 100 tournaments from several months back.
So
they're on the way.
Yeah, all those people should start receiving them very soon.
Good.
So that's really exciting. We're glad to have that checked off our list.
Yeah, I can imagine.
The other thing, which is not necessarily to Lord of the Rings related, but it relates to both Lord of the Rings and Star Trek, is that the schedule for tournaments at Origins should be posting in the near future.
We're not all that far away from Origins, really.
Yeah, and there's going to be the Premier Series tournament there, where the $5,000 purse, people walk away with a lot of money at that event. That's happening. There's going to be a lot of other stuff, Star Trek and other Lord of the Rings sealed deck and all kinds of stuff going on. As well as I believe the Players Committee is going to get us a big list of Star Wars tournaments that are going to be happening. So that schedule of events is going to be going up real soon. So keep an eye out for that. And lastly, Lord of the Rings related, we got another spoiler.
Oh, good.
Oh, good.
What fun. What do you got for us today?
This is a really good one. Pretty much the only cards we've really shown on the website so far have been all Isengard and Elf related. Well, this one has Isengard in the title, but it's a Gandalf card. It's called Betrayal of Isengard. Has a Twilight cost of 1.
What card type is it?
It is a Gandalf card.
What card type is it?
I knew what you were talking about, man. It's a condition.
Okay.
And it says, here we go. Plays to your support area. Each time an opponent draws a card or takes a card into hand during the shadow phase, you may remove 1 Twilight. Maneuver action, exert Gandalf to wound Saruman twice.
Oh, hey.
So, people have been saying, wow, man, Saruman is going to be strong.
Yeah, with all the assignment
all this fun stuff. Right. But, you do a little bit too much of that, Gandalf's going to make you pay.
Okay.
So that's fun stuff. However, it is condition, and Isengard does have a way of getting rid of conditions with I don't even remember what that card was.
From plenty of ways.
From Fellowship of the Ring. But yeah.
Okay.
So there you go. There's our spoiler for the day.
Fun. You need to give us the card number for those who are tracking.
The card number is 3R29.
Okay.
So it is a rare, and it smacks Saruman around a little bit. So
excellent.
That's pretty cool. It's a picture of Gandalf getting ready to beat some people down with his staff. So that's pretty cool.
Okay.
Good stuff. All right, let's. What
you
do we
said
got?
Trek news.
Yeah, we got some Trek news, and
Okay.
and then I got a little bit of Trek news, and then I want to hear all about the Star Trek weekend that happened this past weekend.
Yeah.
The Star Trek news I have is that the Star Trek RPG Narrator's Guide is coming out soon.
Do we have the release date?
It has a soft release date of June 5th.
What does that mean?
A soft release date means basically we're not going to be rushing this product through the distributor pipeline.
Okay.
Hopefully, the way that we have it set up, it should be available on June 5th everywhere. We're going to put it up on the Decipher online store on June 5th, things like that, and you'll start to see it on June 5th. But it may be a little bit later than that for some people, depending on where they live and stuff like that.
So, in the month of June, you'll have your narrator's guide.
That's right.
You'll already have your player's guide, and it'll be off to the races.
That's right.
Sounds very cool.
Off to the races?
Yeah.
Now, when are we going to start playing a game?
I don't know. I guess.
When do we have time?
No kidding. Sorry, I'm working on another Trek game.
So tell us about that other Trek game you're doing.
Sure. Last weekend was the opportunity for the representatives who won to come on in and take a look at the game. There was Tristan, a product champion, one of our ambassadors. There was Paul, a player, and Billy, a retailer. And then there was Chris, our distributor, who unfortunately got stranded in LaGuardia and ultimately routed back home before he ever got here.
That's right.
But the three who did get in here to see the game had a good time with it, really. There's a little design log entry that went up yesterday that talks a little bit about their response to it. And also, if you go to the special event BBS, Tristan and Paul have both made a lot of posts about their thoughts of it. Billy made a post on the Star Trek Everything Else board about it. So, I don't want to parrot what they've said and get it filtered, through me to you, but they all had generally very positive things to say about it. They pointed out a few flaws that we were aware of, and, the game is still developing.
Good. One of the things that came up was the Ferengi. Tell me about the Ferengi, because I played them quite often during the weekend, and they seemed awfully strong. And that was one of the things that was talked about on the bulletin board, was that the Ferengi were too strong, and people were laughing about that.
Well, it's really not a fair issue to be focusing on at this point, really.
Sure.
We're kind of. I know it's fun for sure, but to put that all into perspective, it's not like the Ferengi were designed to be strong or weak or anything. Sure. We have some pretty good ideas about what each of the affiliations will be able to do in game terms. They will have different modes of operation. But ultimately, what it is that's being tested at this point in time is the gameplay engine itself.
Right.
So.
Absolutely.
The fact that the Ferengi just happened to come out strong in this particular batch of cards is just a funny little...
Well, the other thing that needs to be, the perspective that needs to be taken about it is that we're only seeing a limited amount of cards. And the Ferengi may be well balanced within the overall globe spectrum of what cards are in the universe of the game.
I think we counted in this PDF decks are about 95 different cards represented throughout the 4 different decks. So, it's a little cross-section of what a complete universe would be anyway, assuming that these were finished cards, which they're not. So
correct.
So it's just a strange step of the process for you all to get involved in. I have noticed some of the responses that you guys have been making on the BBS in response to what our representatives had to say, and again, it seems overall like that response has been positive too, though there are a lot of concerns about maybe some terminology that doesn't sit right, and that's all temporary. We have a number of fun little code names that we use for things like, I don't know if there are any Monty Python fans out there, but Splunge gets used a lot in-house when we need some placeholder name for a mechanic. In fact, Probing in the existing Star Trek card game, which was created for First Contact, was called Splunging for a very long time. You would have to splunge to see if your objective was successful. But anyway, the point being is there are a lot of terms in there right now that are just absolutely placeholders and up for debate. So try not to get too bogged down in that. There will come a step of the process if this project goes on that far where we'll clean all that up. Just try and play the game when you get the PDF decks and evaluate it and give us feedback on that.
Speaking of PDFs, correct me if I'm wrong, but those should be up on the website right now as we speak.
Yes, this is sort of late breaking news for us at the time of recording RFD, but we did get approval from Paramount to go ahead and put those PDF decks up, and if all goes well, by the time you hear this, they will be there. So
that means for all of you out there that are hardcore gaming fanatics, especially in the United States, you're going to have these decks to play with all this extended weekend.
All this 3-day weekend for Memorial Day celebrants in the U.S. So there you go. Get your hands on the decks. We will obviously try and patrol the boards here and answer the questions that I know will be inevitable because the cards should be fairly comprehensible, all things considered, but the rules are, I have to admit, kind of a mess because it's sort of an oral tradition, rules at this stage usually. We're not used to having to write down a formal rules document at this stage of the process, and so we just kind of sit there and tell everybody, this is how you play this is how you play that. And so on Tuesday, I tried to scribble down everything, and I probably left some things out and didn't tell things in the right order. So
yeah, make do with what you got, I guess, this weekend. We'll try and answer as many questions on the bulletin boards, maybe over the weekend, maybe after this weekend.
And, of course, Paul and Tristan and Billy have played it, so maybe if they stop by, they can also clear up some misconceptions.
That's right.
So weed your way through the rules and go ahead and play the game and let us know what you think by posting on the BBS.
Fun stuff.
Yeah.
Speaking of playing games this weekend, I think we've got something fun going on this weekend.
I heard about this, and this freaks me out there.
Today, this is, as many of you may know, we record RFD on Thursdays.
Right.
And today, I got a reply from the Guinness Book of World Records because we were doing this Lord of the Rings record thing on the website, and we got so many requests for certain ones that we actually I contacted the Guinness Book of World Records to try and see what their rules were for certain
to get
records.
into the book.
Right. And I got back today the rules for the card game marathon for playing a game the most for the longest period of time. And we think that there's a bunch of us here in the office that think we can break that record this weekend. Here in so we got a bunch of people planning on coming by our house, Evan, this weekend and getting in some sleeping bags and playing all weekend. So
you know what? I will happily witness the record for you guys, but I'll get the drink since you guys aren't allowed to get up while you're playing or whatever the rules are. But I don't think I want to be a part of that.
I think we're putting you on barbecue detail.
Nice.
So you'll be working the grill all weekend.
I'm frightened. So all right.
So we're gonna try and set this record and get all of our names in the Guinness Book of World Records.
Nice.
And it should be a lot of fun.
Nice.
So. Lots of Lord of the Rings playing happening this weekend for us.
Yes.
And lots of Star Trek playing out there
with
for
the new
all
game.
of you.
Okay. So there you have it. Enjoy this Memorial Day weekend, all of you Americans, and enjoy the weekend that you have, everyone else. That was wonderful the way I said that.
Yeah.
In no way.
All right. So
we'll quit while we're behind, and
right.
have a great weekend.
Excellent. Take care.